Hey guys, welcome to an exciting episode of All About You. In today's video, I am going to be going through a walkthrough of the ARG experience that just happened this weekend. And it was amazing to meet all the staff, Anthony Abram, Jim, and all the players that came out to show support for the game that we love. So with that being said, I want to let you guys know that there will be a deck profile towards the end of this video of the blue-red Champa deck that I split in top 4 with Amani, Jordan Markle, and Eon Hill, my teammate. Just to note, 4 out of the top 8 was my group. So just to give you guys a little, hint on the type of players that you guys are working with. Anyways, let's jump right into it. Right now we are at the ARG. This is the results. So there was a lot of tough competitors that came out. We got Anthony Abrams. Say hi to all your fans and everyone. We got my partner that he was killing it at events. He was just doing amazing. There goes his shadow clone that was killing it.
I think if you let me drive, we're not gonna get home.
Okay, well, you heard it. And another top 8 contestant. This was
the game this week, literally.
Oh my God.
You had that experience, so it helped.
It's translatable. Yeah.
So right here, Amani, can you say some words? Can you say some words?
What's going on? Yeah.
You know, the guy always killing it at events.
Yeah.
Well, we're splitting for top 4. I guess.
Again. Don't worry, we're gonna play.
We're good. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
We're gonna play.
Coming soon. Contestants came out.
32 players. Yeah.
32 players, not bad.
It was good competition.
Yeah, and Anthony did an amazing job judging. Very good. The event went smooth.
Hernandez with the top 4, good finish. It was good competition all around. So for those who do hate on him, let you know he is legit. So. Just letting you guys know how
you heard it from the man yourself. Thank you.
I was gonna say
52.
You can put me in
52.
I'm the man. I'm Pat, by the way.
He's the man behind the deck.
I accidentally got Anthony banned from Naruto, accidentally, and I can tell you he's legit. He's a good friend.
Thank you, Pat.
Shine in the back on me. Hey, what's up? It's me. Here, me. Point over there. Now point back at me. Okay? That's that, and that's me. You're looking at me, right?
Where y'all going to eat?
Yo, listen.
Me.
Okay.
Wait, can I You're watching me.
We're gonna go eat after.
Watching me.
We're watching you.
Okay?
It's all about you.
It's all about me.
It's all about you. This guy right here. Everybody top 8 should thank this guy. He got us all drinks and shit.
Yes, Pat was the man. He saved us. We were
the man that basically kind of accidentally helped Jordan Markle get that deck, but I mean he saved Sneak Break.
My mouth just dropped.
Good guy, dude. I'm sure he would have figured it out for sure.
Yeah. Wait, say that again. Say that again for the fans.
Who's bad?
He said I'm
Certainly not me.
You left out the most important part. 5 teammates. 4 top 8.
I got me a man.
2 top 4.
Johnny, what the heck do you have to say to the channel?
Put my mans on blast like this. Listen,
Johnny boy.
So what did you play? What were some of your hard matchups? What do you think you could have done better?
Bro, just say that.
I could have played better.
Okay, what leader did you play? What was your deck archetype?
That's what I'm saying. I literally won this play is what cost me top 8. If I didn't do that
Now, back to me. Follow me. Come. Follow me. Today is just an incredible day. Today we actually had an ARG DragonBall Super Championships. I came in top 4. We did a top 4 split. Very confident to take it, but came out. A lot of people came out and supported. Had a lot of fun with a lot of different friends. One thing I just want to say to you guys is keep up the competition. Be friendly with each other. Be loving. This is DragonBall. Show that spirit of fighting and competition. I played Vegeta. I played a blue-green Vegeta Brawly engine. Mine is very unique.
Here we are. Here is the deck profile you've all been waiting for. This was the split for top 4 red blue Champa deck. Now, as many of you guys may have already saw or seen the deck list for this build, now you can actually see it, and I will be going over why I ran certain cards and the whole process of the event, what went on in the event. I just want to give you guys a forewarning. The quality isn't going to be as good as normal because at this point in time, my camera is not charged. So, for round one, I played Jordan Markle, which was another top 4 contestant. And game one was, it was a nice match. Overall, the game was going back and forth until there were key moments in that game where Jordan picked up an advantage. And it was all because of cold bloodlust. When I was trying to drop my SS3 Goku, the promo, he would negate the effect. And what made things worse was that the Goku was unable to go back to my hand at the end of the turn because of cold bloodlust effect. It basically negates my effect until the end of the turn, including, or for the whole duration of the turn, which is including the end of the turn when that card would go back into my hand. So the game was going back and forth, like I said, but that really made the game go into his favor. I dropped Beerus and a few other, I dropped 2 to 3 SS3s in that game, and he negated all of them. And I also dropped the Beerus Energy Boost Beerus, and it was negated as well. So he ended up winning game 1, and we moved on to game 2 after past the 40-minute mark. And game 2 we were unable to complete. I had the advantage game 2, so it was looking good for me to win, but we were unable to complete it due to time. And the time procedures, I wasn't a fan of it. Now, round 2, I ended up playing Mr. Rivera, where you already saw a previous match between me and him during the 1K New York event that passed about a month and change ago. So we were already playing against each other because unfortunately I lost my match and he did as well. So we were in the bubble at that point. It was more of a whoever loses pretty much gets bumped out of top 8. So game 1 went heavily in my favor. I curved pretty well. I have some gameplay, so you guys will see in the future. There wasn't much he can do in that game. He tried going with a similar strategy as when he played me last time, but this deck changed quite a bit since then, as you can see. And he was unable to keep up with the rush. I pretty much started very aggressive on him, and I was getting my Champa's effect off, so I was constantly drawing cards in hand. Overall, my hand size exceeded his early on by, like, I would say the 4th turn, I already had more cards in hand than him. Then game 2, so I won game 1. I won game 1 within the first 25 minutes. Then game 2 was a little bit more intense. We actually went down to the wire and it went into time, but I was able to finish game 2 in time. That game I also won. However, that one I was extremely aggressive early on. I started dropping Kabas as early as turn 1. I put pressure. He didn't want to take the hit, which was smart of him because he kind of had an idea of how my deck is able to work, and it's very aggressive. So he started guarding as much as he could, but he couldn't guard several attacks. I think I opened up with 2 to 3 Kabas the second game. So it was very difficult for him to keep up. After that game, it was pretty much done with. I went on to my next opponent, which was a New York player. I'm very exhausted at the moment, so please bear with me. I'm not gonna have all the names, but you know who you are. We hang out at the same locals. Me and him, we went at it. Game 1, it was Champa versus Champa. By the way, just to give you guys a breakdown of the decks that I played, first round was against a Genyu deck, a green, blue, yellow Genyu deck. Second round was against a Vegeta, a blue, yellow. and my third round game was against a Champa. So in this game, we both started off good, but my build was superior because I had promo Goku. So it was a combination of it being dual colored, while I also had the advantage of being able to match my opponent in ways that he couldn't match me. Now, that game, I was aggressive, we were both aggressive. It came down to a few misplays that he made on his part, which helped me have a bigger edge on him. So I won game one. Game one was pretty quick. Game one lasted maybe 15 minutes. Then we went into game two. Same thing, game two lasted not too long. It was like maybe another 15-minute game. And it was, this time around, I drew, I think, better. If I'm not mistaken, I drew better than him. And it was kind of more of a blowout. Good games nonetheless, solid competitor from New York, but the mix definitely got me the edge. Then my fourth game was against a player from Grimm's, where Anthony Abram resides. That's his locals. The players over there, I heard that they were good, and I never was able to play them because I've been unable to go down to that locals since it's not close to me. It's pretty far. Game one, he was playing a blue-yellow Vegeta, primarily blue. I believe the only yellow was enough just to hit Crusher Ball, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that game one was pretty nice. It was a back and forth game. We were both trying to establish control, but my deck was able to do it in advance, a turn or two in advance, and it was very hard for him to get over cards like Vados, and my energy boosted Beerus kept killing him off. So it made the game harder for him to stay alive. My deck is an aggro deck. Self-damage decks, they don't do so well against aggro decks unless you're able to negate my effects, such as SS3, Vados, energy boosted Beerus, cards of that nature. Now, after that game, we ended up going to game two, so that one I secured. Game two ended up going into time. I had the advantage on him, however, it was basically his 1 life to my 3. When time was called and we went through the time procedures, I had 3 life to his 1, so I won game 2 by that standard. But because I already won game 1, that's all that mattered. However, we did actually finish the match, and he would have won based off of my hand. He would have managed to win, but we couldn't complete the game. So I guess there was like a little discrepancy there where he got mixed up and thought that we had a draw, but we didn't because I won game 1 and I also won game 2 based on the time procedure rules. Even though they weren't being implemented during Swiss rounds, but they were going to be implemented during the time, during time in the top cut. Round 5, I ended up playing my good teammate Eon Hill. He was playing green-blue Vegeta. First game was a nice game. It was pretty close, but I was able to get it out. I ended up winning that match. Then game 2, Eon got it. He was able to put enough pressure. I wasn't able to do much during that gameplay. It is what it is. He's a good competitor, my teammate, and we ended up getting a draw. Top cut. I ended up playing against Eric Hill, the brother of Destruction to Eon Hill, and he was using my deck. He was using a green-blue Goku deck, which I will be doing the deck profile very soon. That game went very well. However, he was at a disadvantage because, for one, it's my deck, so I know all cards in deck. There's nothing you can surprise me with. And 2, because the matchup was in my favor. Goku, at least that Goku build, isn't as strong against this type of build, but it's very strong against the meta, which is Vegeta, different variations of Vegeta, and it's good against Genyu decks as well. So Genyu is not the meta, but now players are starting to explore a little bit more. So with that being said, all in all, that was the outcome, because in top 4 it was going to be me against Jordan Markle, but me and Jordan agreed to split, and so did Eon Hill and Amani, because it was getting late. We all know each other, we're all competitors. I felt like I would have won the event, but so would all the other competitors tell you the same. We're all good players. It was a solid event. Decent turnout of 32 players. Next event, hopefully there are more, but at least there were more than the previous ARG that Trey won, which congrats to Trey again. But overall, let's get into the actual profile. I ran Champa as my leader. You guys should know this by now, so I'm not going to go through all of this. If not, you can reread through my previous videos. I decided to run Kabba's Awakening. It's a more finesse version of this deck from the previous videos. It costs 0. It gives one of your red cards plus 6k during the offense or defense, however. The card is very useful as a defensive means, but it's also good for also pushing for higher numbers. It's great for defensive means because you can always just skim out at that 1k mark where your opponent hits you with 5k, being 5k over you, and instead of having to guard 10k to be safe, you just guard 6k because that is one of those tricky numbers that you get over on the defense. I ran Sane Kabba, self-explanatory. When he's sent out to attack, I can choose to give myself I could choose to move a card from my damage zone into my hand. In that case, I get plus 10k and double strike. He's a staple at 4. If you're not running him, you already know my words. 4 energy boosted Majin Boos. Staple. If you're not running him, don't play the color blue. Sensu Beam at 4. If you're not playing Sensu Beam between 3 to 4 copies, don't play the color blue. Hit, generic 2-drop red on element. I'm able to get my Champa's effect off early, so I'm able to draw cards. Divine Aid Vados, 4. If you're not running 4, you're bad. Of any of the 10k boosts, you already know my take on it. 4 SS3 Goku promos. Now, he's not a must, but he definitely helps. So if I was you, I would definitely consider on running this card if you can. You don't have to run him at 4. I just felt like I wanted to see him very often. And to me, it was essential to get bigger numbers on the board. It's good to have a few characters on the board and then drop them, boom, you get a mega boost out of having multiple characters on your side of the field. And the way that you can see, everyone would get the boost except for the Jockos and the boosted Beerus. So, and the boost Beerus. So, and the Boos. Very good card, extremely strong, creates pressure, goes back to your hand, so it's very hard for your opponent to get rid of him. There's only a few ways in the game to get rid of him. I happened to run against one of my matchups, which was against Jordan. He had a deck that could get rid of him. The next turn 3 is Confident Matama. I enjoy him. A lot of players don't like him that much because he's just a 15k. But the plus side, he's able to attack active cards, active battle cards. I feel like that's very strong in this game. Against a lot of characters that you normally wouldn't be able to touch, you can touch in this deck. I ran 4 Ultimate Judgment Jockos. A lot of players run between 2 to 3. As you can see, I am not running any negate attacks in this deck. No negates. So, for one, I'm gonna tell you guys, this is my play style. So, take from this deck profile as much as you can. Do not, I repeat, there's a major disclaimer. Do not run this deck the way it is if you're not experienced enough to play this way. I'm a very ballsy player. I do some very creative, I would like to say I gamble in a lot of my games. Defense, negate attacks, blockers, they're essential to this game. Very essential. As you can see, the other decks that were in top 4 besides the other deck in top 8, which was my deck as well, ran no negates. Every deck ran negates. There's a reason why negates are used. I decided not to. Would I have if I had a choice? Probably not, because I like the deck the way it is. There's only a few other changes that I would probably make, but you'll see those changes probably in the future. Other than that, this was my negate attack, the Ultimate Judgment Jockles, which is why I ran for it. Going on to Energy Boost Beerus, very powerful card. I wanted to have enough blue in the deck. As you can see, I'm running 18 blue cards. Very necessary for me to have consistency for Results of Training and for Energy Boost Beerus. All I need in play at any given time is 2 blue, potentially 3 if I want to be safe and be able to use a Sensu Beam during gameplay. But for the most part, all I need is 2 because of the design of my deck. Moving on to turn 5, and you already know what Energy Boost Beerus does. If you don't, read the card online. Bewitching God Battles. Now, she is the MVP of the deck. Now, she's one of my favorite cards, which is why I designed the deck around her. This is you can say a Vados deck. The design is for her. She's the queen of the deck. The deck only goes up to 5 if you don't notice. I don't run anything higher than 5. So what does that mean, guys? It means that I don't have to waste much energy during my gameplay. I can literally stop dropping energy at 5 if need be. Now, in my games, I do usually go between 6 to 7 energy at times. Some matchups I don't need to, some I do, just to have more safety. Especially if I'm going to drop a Vados, I don't want to be tapped out completely if I'm not in the best game state. But for the most part, it goes up to 5 and you're good to go. If you don't know what she does, she is the MVP of the deck, and I will only do this for her because she's worth it. So you can read the effect, hopefully. Dual attack auto, and this card attacks. Look at the top, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 alien with power 15,000 or less among them and play it. Then shuffle your deck. Now, she is amazing. Amazing, okay guys? Very good, very essential, and she is this deck. Now again, I want to apologize for the quality of this video. It's not the greatest, but I want to bring this to you guys. Now this is my sideboard. As you can see, I don't even have all the cards sleeved. I only had an additional 10 cards outside of the 50 that you see. So obviously I have like my best cards sleeved while the other ones are not sleeved. This was the sideboard. I never used it in the event. I thought about using it in one game and I was against Rivera himself. We both, well, I believe he sideboarded 4 cards against me. I think it was 2 King Kais and 2 Energy, the Goten, the Pops card on the board. Other than that, I didn't even bother sideboarding against anyone else. So there wasn't much to it. This event was a very good event. A lot of tough competitors came out. I can say some of the best of the game were in the top 4, top 8 bracket with myself. And as I always tell you guys, practice. Practice makes perfect. You want to get very good at this game, make sure you learn enough about the game to get better. With that being said, thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next episode of All About You, because it's going to be pretty exciting to see some juicy content. As always, this channel is all about you.